Hey, it's Roxanne, the spooky cat lady, and we are doing 5 books again. They're first lines. All of these books were sent to me by authors for review, and we're going to judge, would we review them? Let's get started. All right, this first book, its title is a little confusing because it says Broken Tomorrow, but it also says The Mother. So, Broken Tomorrow, The Mother. I guess both are the title. So we're going to get started. This one has a prologue. So that's where we're going to start because that's where the author intended us to start. It has like day 0 on it. Blood floated, a drop of it. That's fine with me. We're wondering, why is there blood? Why is it floating? All kinds of questions coming up. So this one, I would definitely read on for another page or two to see if I would want to review it or not. So that prologue is pretty good. We're going to actually look at chapter 1 as well, since people skip prologues a lot of the time. And this doesn't seem to have chapters. So it says to pass the doorstep, and then it says Sam, and then the first sentence is, sunlight had never warmed Samantha's face quite so pleasantly, and here, at the Outfalls forest tree line, she stopped, enjoying the small reminder that she was close to home, her poorly shod feet coming to rest at the roots of one of the giant trees. All right, I can understand that sentence, but dang, it's the entire first paragraph. It's just one giant sentence. I would have broken that up into maybe 2 or 3 sentences to make it easier for the reader to read. I might stop reading this book because of that, because if I gotta read through giant sentences like that a bunch, I'm not going to enjoy that because I'm going to constantly be breaking it up, trying to figure out, all right, what did they mean? This is an awful lot to go through. All right, so we're going to go on to the next book. This book is called The Scavenger, and a picture will be here. Part 1, The Wish. And it doesn't have chapter number either, but this is where it begins. The school bell rang to sound the end of science class. All right, well, not exciting. Kind of very normal thing going on, but it's not a stopper. It's not like some crazy sentence I couldn't understand or a sentence that is the entire paragraph. It's easy to understand, so I definitely keep reading on for another couple paragraphs and then decide, am I going to review this or not? So yeah, this one I would at least continue. The next one is called Chaos and Retreat. And in case I forgot to mention it, all of these were sent to me to be reviewed. We're just deciding, would we review these? All right, so this one does have a chapter 1. And it starts, a red and blue landscape cut with splashes of burnt purple ambled its way to a horizon that was impossibly close. All right, we're starting with setting, not exactly horrible. It depends on how long this goes for. Like if the next sentence brings us to the character, I would be okay with it. But if we've got a paragraph, 2 paragraphs of description and still no character, I'm out. I'm gone. Some people like all of that, and that's excellent. You do you. But for me, that's a big fat no. And just another side note, the one Chaos and Retreat, the one I just did, I was not a fan of the cover. So if it hadn't been submitted to me, if I just saw this cover, I probably would have kept going. It's not horrible, but it's not, But here we go. Next one is called Unbind. This one's got a cute cover, kind of anime-ish looking. Black, gray, and a tiny bit of red, so that appeals to me. And the first line is a prologue. Dr. Ambrosia, are you sure about this? Anthony asks in a hushed voice, hands trembling over the workstation in the lab. All right, so we have a character. The character's talking. There's another doctor there. He's trembling for some reason. We got some science lab stuff going on. So yes, I would definitely keep reading a little bit more, another page or two, and determine whether I was going to read this one or not. So far, I would. Since this is a prologue and it might get skipped, I'm going to go to the real chapter 1. All right, chapter 1. It's the same person, Mr. Ambrosia. If you don't have your school idea, Mr. Ambrosia, if you don't have your school ID, you don't enter the library, Mrs. Nichols, the head librarian, said with a scowl, lines covering her earth-brown skin as she sent me a glare. It's not a horrible sentence, that first chapter sentence, but it is a little long. I probably would have split that into 2 sentences, but I would possibly keep reading this one. I didn't have a problem with it. I could understand it. I think the description part could have been separate, though. This one's called The Reviled. Dark Fae Book 1. It also has a preface. A lot of prefaces this time around. Preface. That's not a prologue. Then we go to prologue. No, we go preface, and then we go to chapter 1. So I'm going to read the preface. The only way to achieve peace is to become peace. Interesting. Okay. It wouldn't stop me from reading. I would keep going. Find out, okay, what is that about? It's interesting. So we're going to go to chapter 1 now. Chapter 1. When I'm looking at a page and I'm looking at this one and there's 0 dialogue on the entire page, that's a red flag of exposition. So hopefully that's not the case, but let's find out. The afternoon was warm and full of birdsong. That's not bad. It's setting. Again, if the next sentence were with our character, then I would be okay with it. But if we're not, and it just keeps going on into that description, it would have to be some super awesome description that is super, super important to the story for me to keep going, especially since there's no dialogue. I mean, I'm looking. We don't see dialogue till the next page. I want to get right into the people. I'm not really concerned about setting so much. I get, like in a fantasy, setting's really important, but you need to sprinkle that in between character stuff and the action that's going on. For me, everyone's different, but that is for me. All right, guys, so that was my 5 books for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you did. And there'll be more of these, at least once a month I plan to do them. If they pick up any popularity, I'll start doing them more often. And if you would like your book to appear in one of these videos, please send your Amazon link to that book to darkwhimsicalart@gmail.com, and I will definitely try to get it in there. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye.